Good afternoon, my name is Justin Smith with Paul Sherry Conversion Vans, and I'm going to demonstrate one of our latest arrivals. I'm very excited about this. This is the first one that we've received in this bright silver color, and I think it looks phenomenal. It's a 2014 Ram ProMaster conversion van with a Sherry conversion package on it. Now, one of the most noticeable different things on this ProMaster is the state-of-the-art aerodynamic sleek look on this van. And also this van is first in its class to offer two things. One would be a V6 powertrain. It's 288 horsepower and will achieve mid-20s on the MPG. And another thing is front-wheel drive. So for all those bad weather states, here you go. Walking around the van, you'll notice in the front we do have really nice halogen lamps for your headlights with a daytime running lamp. Also have a very bright fog light down in the front fascia. Now there is also running lights up on top of the raised roof. And speaking of the raised roof, this is the only van in its class that has a factory raised roof. Means we do not have to cut into the chassis and attach a fiberglass roof. Makes for a lot better ride, a lot less noise. Moving on the side of the vehicle, you're going to notice that we do have a triple coated chrome wheel. It is an 18-inch wheel. And again, we went with the 18-inch wheel on this van over a 20 for two reasons. A better ride because you got a higher sidewall on the tire, and to save the customer a little less or a little money when it comes time to replace the tires. Now on the side of this van, you're going to notice that we have privacy glass all the way around, even the front. And now that front window tint is legal in all 50 states. That's 35%, so we won't have a problem there. Do have painted door handles, painted mirrors, and of course the roof is painted. And the exposed running board is also painted to match. Now moving along the back of the van, you're going to notice that our Sherry design logo right here is in red. Matches up well with the signature Dodge stripes in red on the front of the van as well. Okay, moving to the back of this van, I want to demonstrate what kind of access you have with the barn doors in the rear of the van. Now this particular van is going to give you more width, more height, easier to load any cargo that you might have in the back of the stand. And I'll demonstrate how far this door will open, and it does have a couple different catch points, with this being its furthest right there. Okay, moving over to the curb side of the van, I'm going to demonstrate the actual rear entry to the back of the conversion van. Now one thing you're going to notice that this is a little different setup than you're used to. Most of the conversion vans out there have a 60-40 barn door setup on either side. And we decided to go with the slider because over the years I've noticed the hinges can be a little bit of a pain to deal with and maintain. And I wanted to demonstrate how nice this door opens. I mean, literally you could open this up with your pinky. Now moving on to the entry of this van, this is one of my favorite parts about this van, is you can step directly into this van without having to slouch over and worry about hitting your head. And we also wanted to put a grab bar right here, so this makes for a very easy entry and also an easy exit. Let me demonstrate. Moving to the back of the conversion van, a few things I want to talk about before I get into the electronics in this van, and that is the captain's chairs that I'm sitting in, which is your second row. Again, class-leading interior space, width, height, and as far as legroom goes in each row in this van. Is a class leader. The seat that we have in this van is a fully reclinable captain's chair. Now it's on a pedestal that is a quick release chair. Chair does weigh about 45 pounds. You do have the option to slide this chair forward and back, and of course you do have the swivel option, which makes it really nice. Now it will lock into two different positions, a forward position and a rear position facing the rear sofa. As far as the rest of this interior goes, one of the things that I'd like to talk about is our blind setup in this. Now this is a little different than you're used to seeing in most of your conversion vans, and we had this built behind a recessed wall. So when the blind's closed, it looks really sharp and it doesn't look botched together. It looks like it was meant to be. Another thing in this van that sets it apart from everything else is the access to the front. Most of your conversion vans have some type of console or your electronics are usually based between the front and passenger seat. So in order to get to the back, you always have to step over those. Certain vans have a console, you can't even do that. Now, we left it open so it was an easy entry for mom or whoever to get to the back of the van. Really nice feature in our van only. Now, as far as electronics go in this van, we have class-leading 32-inch LED 240 hertz television. It's phenomenal. It does have a built-in tuner, so you have the option to program for stations when you're stationary, and you will pick up any local stations in that area. It doesn't tend to work very well in motion, but you do have the capability to pick up some stations when you're in park mode, so that's a nice feature as well. Also does come with a Samsung Blu-ray player, and that's located on the top left corner behind the TV. That does have all your built-in widgets such as YouTube, Netflix, Pandora, Hulu, and there's a few other ones available as well. Now, the way that works is you have to have a hotspot feature on your smartphone. It can be an iPhone or an Android device. It doesn't really matter, but you do have to have Wi-Fi in order for that feature to work. I just wanted to make sure you're aware of that. Now, this system does have a Pioneer surround sound speaker system in the back of the van. So you can watch the videos or whatever content is on the television through the surround sound speakers, and you do have the option to turn that off and listen to it through the wireless headphones. Okay, moving along to the back of the van, I want to talk about the indirect lighting and the lighting in the back of this van. You do have map lights throughout the whole van. With every position or every seat in the back of this van has their own controls for the lighting. Makes it really nice, and you don't have to rely on somebody else to turn a light on for you. Now, our indirect lighting is a little different than you normally find in a van. It's not located in the center of the roof like most conversion vans. Ours is a rope light that goes down on both sides of the high top, the length of the van. You can turn it off or on, and all the indirect lighting, we've used a light blue light, and we found out that that seems to be about the best light option to use and not deter the driver and give the rear passengers enough light to see what's going on back here. You also notice that we continued with the rope lighting in the middle of the wall on both sides as well to break up our interiors. A lot of our interiors that you see in these ProMaster conversion vans will be a different color bottom with a lighter color top. This particular van, not the case. It's all a dark slate gray. Now, as far as the switches and command centers go in this van, again, every position in this van has a control panel to be able to access the lights. Every seat does have a 12-volt charging slot for charging devices as well. Now, the rear sofa that I'm sitting on is a power sliding sofa. Now, it's a two-piece sofa, and we did the sofa a little different as well. We designed this sofa to be at its best when it's in this position. Over the years of being in this business, asking customers what they use their conversion vans for, how often they use their bed, 90% of the time, from what I've been able to gather, it's in this position right here. So we really wanted to stress making it a good seat, just like the captain's chair. So it does have the contour of basically 3 buckets in one rear sofa. It makes it extremely comfortable. Now, our armrest is a little different setup than you're used to seeing as well. It's not attached or fixed to the rear sofa. It's actually built into the wall. And we did a lot of different testing on this. And the design that we came up with here seems to work the best. It's a little bit wider than any armrest you'd find on a rear sofa. And we've also incorporated a cup holder as well right into the armrest, which is lit. All the cup holders in the back of the van do have an LED lighting in them, so it makes it easy to find them at nighttime. Now, this sofa does have an armrest that you see right here that can be folded up for your 7th passenger to sit right here. One thing that I didn't get a chance to talk about when I was in the second row was our seatbelt system, and we'll demonstrate that here in a minute. What I wanted to explain about that is our seatbelt does not come off of the wall, okay? And it's built into the seat. First off, it's a safer design. It hugs your body a lot better. And trying to pull a seatbelt off the wall, if you've ever sat in the back of a conversion van, can be a difficult task, especially for young children. So the seat belt was something that I was very proud of, that we were able to incorporate, and I think that you, the customer, will like as well. Now, the storage in this van is pretty standard conversion van storage, just about like what anything you'd see in any high top. Ours is a little bit bigger, and I will demonstrate that. The biggest storage in the back is this one directly over the rear sofa. It is the deepest and it is the widest. It's a deep enough storage to accommodate a couple full-size pillows, blankets, umbrellas, what have you. It's very nice to have that. We do also continue with down this wall right here, additional storage as well. Okay, moving on to the front of the 2014 ProMaster conversion van. I'm going to start off with the power features that come along in this van. Now, we do have power mirrors on both sides of the van. They are also a power folding mirror, which makes it nice if you need to get into a tight spot. Does come with power windows on both sides, power locks, and it does come with a keyless entry system. Now, moving over to the steering wheel, you're going to notice it's a leather wrapped wheel with perforated leather right here on the sides and a nice finished leather on top and bottom of the wheel. Now, the steering wheel is a telescopic wheel, so it's easy to find that proper adjustment for your comfort zone. Now, on the instrument cluster, you've got your temperature gauge, you've got a gas gauge, a tachometer, and you also do have an information center directly in the center stack in the console. It's going to give you the date, the time, the temperature, and also give you a bunch of indications of what's going on with the van, such as your headlights on, your daytime running lights are working, or your fog lights, or even if a door is left open. So that's really nice as well. Now, this van does come with a front heat and air and also a rear heat and air system, which can be controlled from right here to the left of the steering wheel. Now, the air conditioning in the front of the van is pretty explanatory. It's located right here underneath the rear radio, or underneath the radio in the front, I'm sorry. And this radio in the front is a navigation system, and it does have, operates on a Garmin interface, so it's very, very user-friendly. Now, the radio is a single disc AM/FM radio, and it does have your standard charging ports that you'd look for in a vehicle today, such as a USB charging port, which you can connect any Android device or Apple device and play your music through this radio, or simply charge it. You also do have the capability to use a 3.5 millimeter auxiliary jack for a music source as well. Now, you will notice that there are some buttons located directly underneath the front air controls, and these buttons operate these following features. One will operate your fog lights, another one will disable your traction control. The red button in the middle is your hazard light, and then over here there's another button right here that can be used to lock or unlock the doors. Now, there's also two factory charging ports that Ram puts in this ProMaster, and you do have a USB port from the factory and also another 12-volt DC charging port as well. Now, this van does have the shifter for the automatic transmission located right on the dash, and it does have the tow haul switch built in, which basically, if equipped properly, will change your shift patterns while under load or a trailer's in the back. Now, you're also going to find 4 cup holders up in this van, up in the front. You've got 3 located coming off the floor underneath the rear or the front radio, and then you also do have one for the passenger located right here. Now, underneath the passenger airbag on this particular van, you do have a little storage slot, and that slot is in between the airbag and the actual glove box located right there. Again, my name is Justin Smith, and I want to thank you for joining Paul Sherry Conversion Vans today, and hopefully you enjoyed this brand new video of our all-new 2014 Sherry Conversion Van. Now, if you need any additional information or have any questions, please don't hesitate to call. And if you like what we're doing here, we ask that you like us on Facebook and follow us on YouTube for plenty more van videos to come. Thanks again.